Before we begin, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs this message. Because what I'm about to say might explain why your life still hasn't changed. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a self-control problem. And if you don't fix it, your talent won't save you. Your goals won't save you. Your dreams won't save you. Because people don't ruin their lives all at once. They ruin them quietly. In private. One weak decision at a time. One more morning they don't get up when they said they would. One more promise they break to themselves. One more distraction. One more excuse. One more moment of choosing comfort over growth. And little by little, the life they wanted starts slipping away, not because they were cursed, not because they were stupid, not because they were incapable, but because they never learned how to master themselves. That is why discipline is power. Not because it looks impressive. Not because it sounds intense. But because discipline is the bridge between the life you imagine and the life you can actually build. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you why discipline is not punishment. It is one of the deepest forms of self-respect you can practice. I'm also going to show you the hidden habit that destroys discipline faster than laziness ever could, and if you catch it in your own life, it could change everything. Because the truth is, the biggest battle in your life is not happening outside you. It's happening inside you. Every single day, there are two versions of you in conflict. One version wants peace, growth, focus, strength, healing, a better future, a calmer mind, a stronger body, a life you can actually be proud of. And the other version wants comfort. The version that says, stay in bed a little longer. The version that says, skip it today. The version that says, you can start tomorrow. The version that says, one more scroll won't hurt. The version that says, text them back. The version that says, you deserve a break. When deep down you know it's not rest you're choosing, it's escape. That war is happening all the time. The war between what you want most and what you want right now. And most people lose their future in that gap. Not in one dramatic disaster. Not in one giant mistake. But in small private moments where the lower version of them keeps winning. That's what makes discipline so important. Discipline is how you stop handing your life over to every passing feeling, craving, mood, and impulse. Discipline is how you stop living like a leaf in the wind. Discipline is how you become someone your future can trust. And that matters more than people realize. Because one of the most painful things a human being can experience is not failure. It's self-betrayal. It's looking at your own life and knowing you could be more, but watching yourself repeatedly choose less. It's saying, I'm going to change, and then not changing. It's saying, tomorrow I'll start, and then waking up and repeating the same patterns that are slowly killing your confidence. It's watching yourself become a person you don't even respect. And if that hurts to hear, good. Because some truths are supposed to hurt. Some truths are supposed to wake you up. And here is one of the biggest ones. Discipline doesn't usually die because of one massive collapse. It dies because of 4 small words. Just this once. That's it. That's how discipline starts to rot. Just this once, you skip the work. Just this once, you ignore the alarm. Just this once, you waste the morning. Just this once, you eat the thing you promised yourself you wouldn't. Just this once, you answer the message you know will pull you backward. Just this once, you choose the easy option and tell yourself it doesn't matter. But, just this once, is almost never just once. It becomes a pattern. And patterns become habits. Habits become identity. And identity becomes destiny. Read that again in your mind. Patterns become habits. Habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. That means every small act of discipline matters. And every small act of self-betrayal matters too. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, you don't just lose progress. You lose trust. You teach yourself that your own word means nothing. You tell your own mind, when I say I'm going to do something, don't believe me. And maybe that's why some of you feel so tired. Not physically. Spiritually. Because it is exhausting to live with a version of yourself you cannot fully trust. It is exhausting to keep making promises and then watching yourself break them. It is exhausting to carry goals in your mouth that your habits refuse to support. That kind of inner conflict drains the life out of you. And the dangerous part is that from the outside, nobody may even notice. You can look normal on the outside while your inner world is collapsing in silence. You can laugh with people, post online, go to work, talk like everything is fine, while privately losing battle after battle against distraction, laziness, impulse, and comfort. That is why this matters. Because discipline is not just about productivity. It's about dignity. It's about becoming a person whose actions and words finally match. Now let me say something that might offend you a little. Comfort has probably cost you more than failure ever has. Failure hurts once. Comfort drains you slowly. Failure can teach you. Comfort sedates you. Failure can wake you up. Comfort puts you back to sleep. And the worst part is that comfort does not look dangerous. It looks harmless. It sounds soft. It sounds reasonable. You've had a long day. You can do it tomorrow. One missed day won't matter. You deserve it. Don't be too hard on yourself. Now listen carefully. Sometimes that voice is telling the truth. Sometimes you do need rest. Sometimes you do need grace. Sometimes your body and mind genuinely need recovery. But sometimes that voice is not compassion. Sometimes it's self-sabotage wearing the mask of kindness. Sometimes it's your lower self trying to keep you weak while making it sound gentle. And if you don't learn how to tell the difference, comfort will quietly destroy your life while convincing you it's protecting your peace. So ask yourself honestly, am I resting or escaping? Am I healing or hiding? Am I being patient or procrastinating? Am I protecting my peace or protecting my comfort? That question alone can change your life if you answer it truthfully. Because comfort is not always soft. Sometimes comfort is the most dangerous voice in your life. It tells you to stay where it's familiar. Stay where it's easy. Stay where nothing is demanded from you. Stay where you don't have to face your fear, your pain, your responsibility, or your potential. But there is no power there. There is no growth there. There is no freedom there. And freedom matters. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that. He didn't say no man is successful. He didn't say no man is rich. He didn't say no man is admired. He said free. Because if your anger controls your mouth, you are not free. If your cravings control your body, you are not free. If your phone controls your attention, you are not free. If your lust controls your decisions, you are not free. If your mood controls your consistency, you are not free. If every time life gets hard, you run back to distraction, avoidance, and comfort, you are not free. You are being ruled by impulses. You are being led by feelings. And that is exactly why discipline is power. Because discipline gives you your life back. Discipline says, "My feelings are real, but they do not get the final vote." Discipline says, "I may feel tired, but I still have a standard." Discipline says, "I may feel afraid, but I can still act." Discipline says, "I may feel lazy, but I do not have to obey laziness." This is the shift so many people need. Stop asking your feelings for permission to do what your future requires. Let that sink in. Stop asking your feelings for permission to do what your future requires. You do not need to feel motivated to be disciplined. You do not need to feel confident to be consistent. You do not need to feel inspired to do the work. You do not need to feel fearless to take action. You do not need to feel ready to begin. You need a decision. Your feelings can sit in the car. They are just not allowed to drive. Because if your feelings drive, your life becomes unstable. Some days you'll work. Some days you'll disappear. Some days you'll be locked in. Some days you'll throw the whole day away because of one bad mood. Some days you'll believe in yourself. Some days you'll sabotage yourself. That is not discipline. That is emotional gambling. And too many people are gambling with their future. They are gambling with their health, gambling with their focus, gambling with their time, gambling with their peace, gambling with their relationships, gambling with their destiny. And then they wonder why life feels chaotic. But a chaotic life is often the result of an undisciplined mind. Now I want to say something even more important. The cost of indiscipline is delayed. That is what makes it so dangerous. It sends the bill later. Skip the workout now, pay with weakness later. Waste the money now, pay with stress later. Ignore the work now, pay with regret later. Feed your distractions now, pay with mediocrity later. Keep saying yes to what is hurting you now, pay with peace later. Stay up all night scrolling now, pay with exhaustion later. Keep avoiding hard conversations now, pay with resentment later. Keep refusing to face yourself now, pay with emptiness later. The pleasure is immediate. The price is delayed. And because the price is delayed, people act like it doesn't exist. Until it does. Until the body gets weaker. Until the confidence gets lower. Until the mind gets noisier. Until the bank account gets tighter. Until the opportunities disappear. Until the regret gets heavier. And by then, the pain feels overwhelming because the bill has been building for years. This is why discipline matters. Because discipline lets you pay a smaller price now to avoid a bigger price later. And yes, discipline costs something. It costs comfort. It costs convenience. It costs excuses. It costs the fake pleasure of doing whatever you feel like doing in the moment. But the pain of discipline is almost always lighter than the pain of regret. Read that again in your mind. The pain of discipline is almost always lighter than the pain of regret. 1 hour of training hurts less than years of hating your body. 1 hard conversation hurts less than years of resentment. 1 disciplined budget hurts less than living under constant financial stress. 1 season of saying no to distractions hurts less than spending your life wondering what you could have become. This is why Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is discipline. Not controlling the whole world. Not controlling other people. Not controlling every circumstance. Controlling yourself. Controlling your response. Controlling your habits. Controlling what you feed your attention, your time, your body, and your mind. That is where power begins. And here's the part nobody talks about enough. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. You wake up on time because your life matters. You train because your body deserves strength. You save money because your future deserves stability. You focus because your purpose deserves your best hours. You set boundaries because your peace deserves protection. You keep your word because your identity deserves integrity. That is not cruelty. That is love with standards. And some people have confused self-love with self-indulgence for so long that they don't even recognize real self-respect anymore. Self-love is not giving yourself everything you crave. That's how children live. Self-love is not saying yes to every impulse because you don't want to feel uncomfortable. Self-love is not protecting every bad habit because it feels familiar. Self-love is not calling your self-destruction. Being gentle with yourself. Real self-love is stronger than that. Real self-love is being able to say, "I know this feels good right now, but it is making my future weaker, so no." Real self-love is teaching yourself how to survive discomfort without obeying it. Real self-love is choosing what builds you instead of what numbs you. That is discipline. That is power. That is maturity. And if you want to know whether you are growing, don't just ask whether you feel motivated. Ask whether you can say no to yourself. Can you say no to the extra scroll? Can you say no to the extra hour in bed? Can you say no to the text you know you should not send? Can you say no to the habit that gives you relief today and regret tomorrow? Can you say no to the excuse that keeps showing up dressed like a valid reason? Because every time you can say no to what weakens you, you say yes to something greater. You say yes to clarity. Yes to peace. Yes to confidence. Yes to freedom. Yes to a stronger future. Now let's deal with one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to become disciplined. They try to rebuild their entire life in one emotional night. You know what I mean. Tomorrow they're waking up at 4 a.m., quitting sugar forever, reading 50 pages a day, training twice a day, deleting every app, fixing their sleep, building a business, saving money, meditating every morning, journaling every night, drinking 2 gallons of water, learning a new skill, becoming a new human by Friday. And then they fail by Wednesday and call themselves weak. No. You are not weak because you failed at a fantasy. You failed because you built a fantasy instead of a system. Discipline is not built through dramatic overreaction. It is built through repeatable standards. Small promises kept consistently. Small routines protected daily. Small actions repeated until they become identity. Not extreme for 3 days. Reliable for 300. That is how discipline is built. Quietly. Boringly. Repeatedly. And that's another thing you need to understand. Discipline is not always dramatic. Sometimes discipline is incredibly unglamorous. It's going to bed on time. It's putting the phone away. It's showing up when nobody is clapping. It's cleaning your room. It's drinking water. It's sitting down to work when your mind is begging for distraction. It's leaving what keeps hurting you. It's doing the little thing you said you would do, especially when no one would know if you didn't. That is where your life changes. Not in the big speeches. Not in the emotional nights. In the tiny private standards you keep when no one is watching. Because private discipline creates public power. The person who looks strong in public usually built that strength in private. The person who seems calm under pressure probably practiced controlling themselves in moments nobody saw. The person who commands respect often learned to respect their own standards first. That's why discipline is so powerful. It changes you from the inside out. It teaches you that you do not have to be a prisoner of every feeling. It teaches you that discomfort is survivable. It teaches you that urges pass. It teaches you that boredom won't kill you. It teaches you that your mind can scream for comfort and still not be obeyed. And every time you survive that moment, you get stronger. Every time you resist the impulse to betray your future for temporary comfort, you become a little more dangerous to your excuses. Now here's another truth that can change everything. Your environment is either helping your discipline or destroying it. You cannot keep trying to build discipline in an environment designed to make discipline harder. If your phone is always beside you, discipline gets harder. If your room is chaos, discipline gets harder. If your bed is where you work, discipline gets harder. If your habits are built around convenience, discipline gets harder. If everyone around you normalizes excuses, laziness, gossip, distraction, and weakness, discipline gets harder. You do not need to rely on willpower for everything. You need strategy. Put the phone away. Prepare the night before. Set your clothes out. Write tomorrow's tasks before you sleep. Delete what keeps pulling you backward. Make bad habits harder to reach. Make good habits easier to start. Create friction between you and the things that keep ruining your focus. That is not cheating. That is wisdom. If you know you keep wasting the morning on your phone, stop sleeping with it beside you. If you know you keep eating what destroys your progress, stop keeping it within reach. If you know certain people always drag you back into chaos, stop giving them easy access to your peace. If you know a certain place, app, routine, or habit always weakens you, stop pretending you can flirt with it and still stay disciplined. Be honest about what keeps beating you. Then make it harder for it to reach you. That is part of discipline too. Not just resisting temptation. Designing your life so temptation has fewer chances to win. Now I need you to hear this carefully, because this might be the part that keeps someone watching from giving up on themselves. You are going to fail sometimes. You are going to have weak days. You are going to miss a workout, waste an hour, procrastinate, slip, oversleep, lose focus, or fall back into an old pattern. That does not mean you are hopeless. That does not mean you are fake. That does not mean you've ruined everything. One mistake is not the end. One weak day is not the end. One bad moment is not the end. What destroys people is not the slip. It's the spiral. It's the moment they say, I already messed up, so I might as well keep messing up. It's turning one bad meal into a bad week. One missed workout into quitting. One distracted morning into a month of self-sabotage. One emotional setback into a full surrender. The disciplined person is not the person who never falls. The disciplined person is the person who returns fast. Read that again in your mind. The disciplined person is not the person who never falls. The disciplined person is the person who returns fast. No drama. No self-pity. No week-long guilt performance. No. I ruined everything. They return. They correct. They continue. That is strength. Not perfection. Recovery speed. And if you can learn that, you stop turning mistakes into identities. You stop saying, I missed today, so I'm lazy. You stop saying, I slipped once, so I'm weak. You stop saying, I lost momentum, so I'll never change. No. You say, I slipped. Now I return. That mindset alone can save years of your life. Because one of the most dangerous things you can do is use imperfection as an excuse for surrender. Don't do that to yourself. You don't need perfection. You need standards. You need honesty. You need recovery speed. You need to stop negotiating with the version of you that always wants the easy way out. And now I want to leave you with something practical. Something simple. Something you can actually do after this video ends. For the next 30 days, stop trying to become perfect. Stop trying to change your whole life in one burst of emotion. Stop trying to become a superhero by tomorrow. Instead, become disciplined. Choose 3 non-negotiables. Just 3. Not 10. Not 15. 3. A wake-up time. A workout. A reading habit. A prayer time. A work block. A no-phone morning. A sleep cutoff. A journaling habit. A clean eating rule. Whatever fits the life you are trying to build, choose 3. Write them down. Put them where you can see them. And protect them like your future depends on them. Because it does. Then for the next 30 days, stop asking how you feel. Follow the standard. If you said you would wake up at that time, wake up. If you said you would train, train. If you said you would read, read. If you said you would stay off your phone in the morning, stay off it. Do not make your future beg for the bare minimum from you. And when the weaker version of you starts talking, and it will, answer with action. When it says, skip it, begin. When it says, later, do it now. When it says, one more scroll, put the phone down. When it says, you deserve a break, ask whether you need rest, or whether you're trying to escape. When it says, not today, answer back with, today especially. Because that is what discipline really is. It is not about becoming cold. It is not about becoming robotic. It is not about hating yourself into productivity. It is about becoming someone your future can rely on. It is about ending the cycle of self-betrayal. It is about replacing chaos with order. Replacing weakness with strength. Replacing excuses with standards. Replacing temporary comfort with lasting peace. And maybe most importantly, it is about finally proving to yourself that your lower impulses do not own you. That your fear does not own you. That your laziness does not own you. That your cravings do not own you. That your past does not own you. That your bad habits do not own you. That the weaker version of you does not get the final say. You do. And that is power. So if this video spoke to you, don't leave quietly. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Share it with someone who keeps losing to comfort. And in the comments, write this exact sentence. I will not betray my future for temporary comfort. Write it like a contract with yourself. Write it like a line in the sand. Write it like a decision. Because motivation fades. Emotion fades. Good intentions fade. But a person with standards becomes hard to break. A person with discipline becomes hard to stop. A person who learns to master themselves becomes dangerous to every excuse that once controlled them. So the next time your lower self whispers, "Not today," I want another voice inside you to answer back. Today especially?